Good evening and welcome to the Effect stream of Alien RPG. I am your host and game mother. I'm Dave, co-host of the Effect podcast, and this is Alien the Colony, episode 3. Nothing to lose but your chains. Alien the Colony, episode 3. Okay, your chains. Okay, it's a really professional start. Excellent, just like Matthew.
Good to be back.
So, I'm going to share my screen. So what's the story so far? Here on 1 Iota Scorpii, it's the first aphelion holiday. For the people of Solovetski Island, they should be enjoying the enforced 2-day break. But the festivities are dampened by the news of the terrible accident and death of Garth Verdeen, a Lasalle scientist who drowned when his dipper sank on his return from Lagoon Outpost 1. His partner, Fashani, is reportedly so distraught that she needs intensive medical care. And Zenaida Abeck, a scientist colleague of Verdeen's from the lagoon, has been repatriated to Solovetski in rushed and unexplained circumstances. Neither of them has been seen in the last 24 hours. Rumours abound about what happened at the outpost, and some say, can I ask people please just unmute their mics whilst we're doing this, because there's too much noise. Thank you. Thank you. Rumours abound about what happened at the outpost, and some say there's been a big find of something important. Some even say it's a big Rhodium find. Massive news, if that's true. But it's being covered up. The command team has played this down, neither confirming nor denying the rumours. But this has only made things worse. The people have been harassing the Union steward, Ivan Suvorov, demanding full disclosure. But Suvorov has failed to answer their questions or calm their concerns. Tensions are bubbling. On top of all that, the weather has been worsening, and there are reports of a shoal of giant seaworms heading toward the colony. Solovetski Island's first aphelion celebrations should have been, well, more celebratory. I'm now going to ask you all to introduce yourselves in character, please. We can start with James Hutton.
I am James Hutton. I am a 28-year-old surveyor for Lasalle, and I've come on this mission to get away from it all and put my feet up. Fat chance of that, by the looks of it.
Thank you. Oscar Prishka.
Right, I'm Oscar Prishka, an idealistic socialist and farm boy who basically says there's a new world to farm and we need food to build it. That's the very short version of it.
Thank you. Corporal Graf.
I'm Corporal Moritz Graf. I'm the UPP security team lackey, essentially. I do all the jobs, the actual work.
Cool, thank you. Ivanovsky.
Yeah, I'm Dmitry Ivanovsky, a UPP scientist, officially on the mission as a geologist, but I have fingers in many scientific pies. My skills are much wider than that, and I basically like to think of myself as the preeminent scientist of the colony.
Cool, thank you. And last but not least, Arlovsky, Will.
Dante Arlovsky, just here to make a buck for LaSalle and make sure these dirty communists don't try to redistribute the wealth too bad, so we can bring a buck back home.
Cool, thank you. So what is actually going on? Ivan Suvorov is one of the command team, as you said. He's the union steward who is in charge of worker relations and making sure that you get the best productivity out of all the workers. But he's struggling, and he's come to Hutton and Prishka for help. Comrades, we have a problem. You know how tense the situation is becoming here on the island, with all the rumours and the people feeling left out. Mm-hmm. That's understandable, but they must trust that we have their best interests at heart. But they don't. They are weak and they are worried. The very reasons they need protecting by those of us with positions of responsibility. Sadly, though, some workers have gone out for themselves on an unauthorized prospecting trip.
That's not good.
It's not only against regulations, as you well know, it's also against the spirit of Solovetski Island. I need you to go after them and make sure they are safe and returned safely to the colony, if you would be so kind.
How long have they been gone?
They've been gone a few hours now. The other thing I would say is this needs to be done quietly for the good of the colony as a whole. I could obviously send the commissars after them, but if I did that, it would become official and they would be arrested and there would be records and there would be trials and they would get into a lot of trouble. That would only inflame the tensions here on the colony.
Mhm.
This way, they could be returned to the fold. They could be returned safely. No one need know anything official, but it needs to be a joint venture, which is why, James, I've asked you to come along. You're a prospector. You are skilled at these at being out in the wilds.
Sorry.
Oh no, I was just going to say I hold to the alliance with Lasalle. That's the deal we made in being here, and we need to advance everything in a spirit of collaboration. And I hope you'd all agree to that.
Completely agree. Do you know who went and roughly where they went?
Yes. Before I give you that information, though, I have asked a couple of others to join you on this mission. The cover for this trip is going to be a sanctioned survey mission, prospecting and science. As such, I've asked Dmitry Ivanovsky to join you as the senior science lead on the trip. And as a security detail, I've also asked Corporal Graf to come along just in case. Finally, the supervisor, the Lasalle supervisor, Alison Senna, has got wind of what's happened, and I've managed to calm her and keep her quiet, but she's insisted that Agent Arlovsky joins you as well to ensure this is a properly joint venture. Collaboration is the watchword, after all, gentlemen.
Does he know that?
He's fully briefed. I'm sure he will collaborate appropriately. Otherwise, I will obviously report that back to his senior leadership, and that'll be dealt with.
I'm sure Agent Arlovsky will act in the best interests of both the UPP and Lasalle Corporation and maintain the high standards of Lasalle Corporation.
Mm-hmm.
I love HR speak, man. It's company perfection right there.
So you're all brought into
Cheers.
the same briefing room now. So you're all in the same room. Suvorov says, so I need you to track and trace these misguided people. Return them to Solovetski Island with the utmost discretion. And if you happen to find anything whilst you're out there, great. You are a prospecting mission. You're a science mission. Wonderful. But clearly, bring them back quietly and safely. That's the number one priority. So the people who've gone, there's two of them as far as we know, Ming Yijun and Yin Shufen, one of whom is a wildcatter and the other is a roughneck working in the factories. They took a dipper a few hours ago and they headed northeast from where we are. They're heading out across. I'm gonna share a map because you will know this. Before I say, Matthew, if you could share it now, please.
You can see it.
Yeah. So this is the map of your local area of the Solovetski Island archipelago. This is the map of the large area with the previous map is in red on the bottom left. So you can see that the Notcha Straits, which is about 100 kilometers across, It's quite deep. It runs across towards Mor Kanonov, which is Russian for the Sea of Canyons, and that's another archipelago. Which the reason it's called Sea of Canyons is naturally because there are a lot of underwater canyons there. They funnel water across that archipelago, and then that creates large waves that break along the line of the archipelago. It's a great buffer against some of the bigger freak waves that you can find on the planet from Solovetski Island, and it's one of the reasons why you chose the location for Solovetski that you did. But they've headed north. Each hex of the map, as you can see, is 5 kilometers. But yeah, so they've headed north at the moment. Don't know exactly where they're going, but we need you to go and bring them back.
So there's in that direction, there's no kind of obvious big target for where they might be going to do some prospecting.
There are more archipelagos in that direction, but the Notcher Straits do run for quite a long way. So to the north, northwest, and the southeast.
Do you know that they went prospecting, or are you assuming that?
That's a good question. What do we know of their motivations? Are we just speculating?
You don't know much of their motivations.
Are we going to be able to have access to their workstations? I'd imagine if they went off in that direction, that there's going to be some kind of like preliminary, geographical maps or surveys, or maybe infrared photography from orbital. I'd imagine that if we can find geysers on a map, that's where we need to go. So do we have any of that?
You can. We don't have it to hand. You can check their monitor, their terminals, but you'd need to do it discreetly. As I said, remember, we don't want to cause a fuss about this. So whatever you do, it needs to be done discreetly. We do know which dipper they've taken because it has been signed out, and according to the records, it's been signed out officially and properly and above board, though it obviously hasn't.
It's been signed out by these two.
Yes,
formally, so they haven't kind of.
It's been signed out by Ming Yijun, has signed the dipper out.
What was the name of the other person that's gone?
Yin Shufen.
Do we know anything else about these people? Wildcatter, you said Roughneck, but other than that.
No, one's a prospector, and one works in the maintenance for the base.
They're not a romantic couple or anything like that, as far as we know. Going out for a picnic.
Not as far as you're aware, no. I mean, you know of them. I guess you probably don't know. You don't actually know them particularly, but you know who they are. You know what they look like.
Okay.
Is there a terminal in this room? Data terminal?
Yes, there is a terminal in here, yeah.
Can I log on to the surveying records, which I assume I've got access to being a surveyor, and see if we know anything about anything up that way? Have we done any surveys in that area?
Yeah, you can do that.
Officially?
Yeah, I don't think I need to make a roll for that. No, not to the north. There hasn't been. There have been some surveys done of the More Kanonov, but they've largely been discounted because of the dangerous waves that tend to come across that archipelago. So it's too dangerous to operate there, really.
In a similar vein, can I log on and check their service record, whatever we keep as the police on them? See if there's been any reprimands, any reckless behaviour in the past.
See if there's see if he's had any shifts or prolonged contact with anybody from from the science base there. That we had all that trouble with a couple months back or a couple weeks back. If he's working with that with the head of security out there, that might be a reason why he's out in that direction.
Agitators.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy out there who was the security guy was called Nurlan Ozolinski, if you recall.
Ozolinski,
I'll make you make a contact roll for that, please, Craig.
Okay, just give me a second to double check what that will be.
You got to make sure you hold on. You got to log in first. Can I? Yeah, can I assist with the dice or with an extra die for showing them how to access the records better or something? Give them a helping hand.
If he wants a dice of help, do you want some help, Gruff?
I'll take the help because.
Okay.
That is 0 successes.
Okay, you pick up his record. Nothing particular. He has been reprimanded a couple of times for agitating in the sense of complaining that the leadership are too closely tied in with the Lasalle, and they're not being true to the UPP ideal and philosophy. But nothing, no record, no arrests or anything. Just been reprimanded.
Acceptable troublemaking then.
Yeah, I mean, you got to allow the workers to have a voice to a point, don't you? So
as long as they say the right things.
Yeah, of course, I guess.
Yeah, ideologically sound troublemaking.
That sounds like a training course.
I'd like to go on that.
Yeah. Can those of you who are scientists, actually, I think you could probably all do this. Can you all make a observation roll and just need to get a success?
5.
Oh, that's none from me again. I'm not doing too well on the rolls so far.
I got 2.
I got none.
I got 1.
But I'm pushing.
Okay.
Now I've got 1.
Cool.
I'm going to push as well.
I forgot all about the option to push on my. On the top as well.
You never do it on your first die roll. You just get stressed out too fast.
Yeah.
I can't fail a science roll when there's others in the group.
Scientists.
No, I'm sorry, I can't let that happen.
No, that's fair enough. So you do recall there's been quite a lot of conversation about the possible scientific possibilities, potential of these seaworms.
Yeah.
And no one's really done any study of them, but there is a shoal that's swimming down the Notch Straits towards the base. It's coming up from the southeast, and it's heading in your direction.
How big a shoal?
How big? Yeah, exactly. And how big a worm?
How big are the worms, and how many in the shoal? Do you think?
So the worms can get to 80 or 100 meters long, with 10 meter girth. The shoals tend to be quite big. Nobody's done any real study of them yet, but the ones that have been seen tend to have dozens, if not possibly more than 100 individual worms. The 80 to 100 meters is probably the biggest. They're not all that size, but they're quite big.
Sounds like a good time to go north.
Great.
There's a shoal of enormous worms coming this way.
So you do realise, if I bring up the map again, Matthew, I'm going to share the screen. If you can see the screen,
yeah,
the archipelago here is only about 3 meters deep for most of it. It gets a bit deeper in some of the channels, maybe, but actually, so where you are, only the tiniest of these worms could ever get anywhere near you. As far as you know, they might go on land, but no one's ever seen them going on land.
I'm just wondering whether those deep canyons were made by worms.
Do you want me to bring the map up again?
No, it's like claw marks. We can all remember it, I think. Almost looks like something is burrowed through there.
What do we know about the chemical makeup of the water? You said they're coming from the southwest or southeast, heading northwest. Is there anything different about the temperature, or is there more alkali in the water down there? something that would, we're right nearing a solstice, right, or an equinox. That might have something to do with their migratory patterns. I mean, I'm just trying to get some.
Yeah. So today is actually aphelion day, where the planet is the furthest from the star, and the orbit now begins to revert back towards the star, get closer. In terms of the water composition, no, there's been no studies yet that have identified anything like that. I think probably because nobody's had the time to do it yet. You've only been here 6 or 7 weeks.
You said the worms are coming from the
southeast.
So not the direction. So the these two people that have gone off that we're after, they've not gone in the direction that the worms are coming from. They've gone north.
They've headed north. Yeah.
Okay.
But they're coming from the southeast, going to the northwest, presumably.
Yes.
So that passes on the way.
So each dipper will have a transponder, so you should be able to track the dipper from either another dipper that you want to take, or Prishka has a dipper, I understand.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to take
it's not my personal, understand. Yeah. But it's
one
I look after.
It's allocated to you, so it's for your use at the moment. Yeah.
Do you think it might be a good idea to bring one of those the helicopter or whatever the air reconnaissance vehicles, or is it too windy?
So you have there are skiffs here, but they're not. They are working vehicles, so they're not always available. It is getting quite windy as well, so that's obviously a risk in taking them up.
Need to build some recon drones for things like this.
Well, if you take a surveyor with you, he might have a pups mapping device.
I'm worried about that old Earth movie, Tremors.
No one has seen the worms do anything like that yet. The worms have seemed quite docile in every occasion they've been observed, but they haven't been studied yet, not in any detail.
So we don't really know anything about what they eat or anything like that.
Not really, no.
Right, I guess we better go and pack our bags, right?
Okay. Does anybody want to do anything else whilst you're still on the base before you?
Do I know anybody who was friendly with these two people?
Yeah, that's
anyway. We could just ask. Did they say something? Whether I know we need to be discreet, but maybe just find out a little bit more about them.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking we hit up the Dr. Feelgood and get some some Never Sleep or something. You know what I mean? And seriously, these guys working long shifts and all that. That they're probably tweaking half the time anyway. So, give them a little bit of extra to get them through their next couple shifts, and they might be more willing to divulge some information. Give them the chemical lubrication required.
You can.
Plus, I wanted to see what the results of that new drug were. We have that new whatever it was. I was looking into.
Yeah. So there's no advances on that as yet, not for broader publication. You can go and get some Never Sleep if you want to draw some Never Sleep from the medical bay. Frank, make a manipulation roll if you're going to go and do a bit of talking.
Ooh, I'm not terribly good at that. No, I really am not. So somebody else feel free to
while he's doing that, I'm going to go and check out some restraining gear.
Okay, yeah, you can get some handcuffs, yeah.
Corporal, while you're at it, do you think it might be opportune to break out a few sidearms?
What's the general policy on colonists being armed?
I've got a shot stick.
Colonists wouldn't be armed by the likes of you unless it's an emergency.
Maybe check to make sure there's nothing missing.
I think this is an emergency based on the fact that you're asking. Based on the fact you're asking Lasalle employees to go on a covert operation for you to keep the UPP quiet.
So there are some people who are licensed to have certain weapons for part of their job. Mm-hmm. But no, it's not standard for a citizen to carry a weapon. No.
Could I be taking my cattle prod? Is that acceptable?
You can take your cattle prod. That'll be it. That's part of your gear. That'll probably be inside your dipper, actually.
Indeed. I didn't have a success for my manipulate. I decided to push and got two successes.
Okay, and what information are you trying to find out?
I'm just basically trying to find out a bit of background, firstly, about these two people and whether they were making any plans to go away or whatever. Maybe what they packed. But that's pushing it. No, I did push it. So.
You got 2 successes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you probably know a couple of people who know them, perhaps a little bit, and you talk to them, and they say, well, you know, Ming was angry about the fact that this rhodium find apparently hasn't been publicized, and they're wondering, you know, he's got a bee in his bonnet that the leadership aren't being fair.
Right.
He was talking to a couple of other people, but I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, there are a few people who were listening to him, but you know, Yin does whatever he says anyway. So
he's a good boy. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Why? What's happened? Is he in trouble?
No, I'm just wondering. Yeah, Ming was always a good guy, and I'm just wondering whether. Yeah, I heard that he was talking about, or that he was a bit sore about the rhodium. That's all.
Oh, okay.
It's all rumors, isn't it? Rumors just poison everything.
That's all it is. Well, if the leadership told us a bit more, then you know we wouldn't have to rely on rumors.
I just nod without saying anything. Too many microphones.
Okay, what's the plan then, folks?
Would I be able to, fortuitously arrive? I was wanting to, speak with people as well, just so that we don't rehash the same. You know what I mean? Would it be possible for me to, confer with you about who you spoke with? You know, and see if we can't, push a little hard, or push a little harder. I don't know who they were talking to kind of deal. It's typical UPP group think. You gotta slice right through that with some capitalist kung fu. So if that's possible.
Yeah. I mean, I might share that Ming had been talking about the rhodium, but I'm not going to be very, very cooperative, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I wouldn't trust me either.
Okay, guys. What you doing? You've done some talking. These guys have now left 6 hours ago.
We need to get after them.
How many people comfortably get in one of these dippers? Remind me. Do we need to take?
No, you can take. You can get 2 with 4 passengers comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have someone that can pilot it this time, or do we need to requisition a pilot?
Oh,
I think
he can pilot it.
Yeah.
I can pilot 1, not 2. One each.
Yeah,
side
you
of
need
the
to take
horse.
one.
I'm used to going out on my own, but when I do, I always have a standard pack. So can I go to stores and grab some survival packs, please?
Yes.
Food and water.
Yep.
Food and water rations.
Yep, that's fine. You can do that. You can load them up in the back of the dipper.
Some emergency supplies, yeah. So do we need another pilot? Do we need to ask for one?
I can fly.
Yeah, but this is dipper. We're not flying, we're swimming.
I've got piloting skills.
Still piloting.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, just so you know that these things don't fly, that's all.
I'm just going to collect together. Sorry, go on, Paul.
No, it's all right. Don't worry.
I was just saying I'm going to collect together a kind of usual scientific sampling equipment that I would take on a field trip in case I find anything that I want to bring back to study.
Okay.
Oh, the one other thing. Can I grab my own survival suit after what we encountered last time? I want to have one that I've checked over.
You want just a standard compression suit?
Compression suit, yeah. After we encountered the sabotaged ones last time, I'm not taking chances.
Okay, yeah, I think you can take a compression suit. Your dipper, Oscar's, I think it's got 3 spare. Oh, it's got 3 compression suits in it by standard.
I don't need one. I've got an all-world survival suit.
Yeah.
And I'll have a checked over one on the dipper, I assume.
Pardon?
I'll probably have a pre-checked, ready to go suit in the dipper.
Yeah, so your dipper will have 3 suits as standard.
Yeah, so I trust my suit.
Okay. Are you heading off then, guys?
Yep, I think we should.
I think so, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, the weather is it's not terrible, but it's a bit bumpy. I'm going to share the screen again. If you can see that.
Yep.
Yep. So as you head out, I'm assuming you're heading north.
Yep.
As you head out into the straits themselves, the water starts to chop quite a bit. It gets quite a bit lively. You do have equipment on board that will allow you to track the other dipper's transponder if you wanted to make a contact roll.
Yeah, I think we should do that. Definitely, I can do a contact roll. Anyone else? Any good at contact?
I'm pretty good.
I'm okay, but I'm not great.
I've got 4.
I've got
Yeah,
7.
you do it.
7 dice. Oh, you're fucking kidding.
That's our one swear for the evening.
So,
Aren't we glad we brought our lead scientist with us?
pushing. No, I've got no clue where he's going.
Okay, yeah. So you basically, I think you do detect the signal, but it's just north somewhere. You're not able to narrow it down any more than that at all.
Does that give us a distance read at all?
Nope, not for no successes. There is just. I'm being generous, saying there is a signal.
Yeah.
So
yeah, north. Go that way.
Do we have any kind of instrumentation for capturing some of that data that we don't have yet on the water, and the currents and all that? Anything that we can activate, that we can collate later, but just like stick some probes in, if we can see, is there anything about this stream, with the worms or whatever, trace deposits of rhodium or like whatever, for whatever reason that they're going in this direction.
So no, you don't really. This is a farming dipper.
Okay.
So Frank, did you choose a loadout for the dipper?
Yes, I did 5 weeks ago. I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
I will have to look.
I suspect it was something to do with farming rather than surveying, wasn't it? So
I think it might have been surveying because the first mission we went on was a survey mission.
Oh, that does ring a bit of a bell, actually.
It was in our private chat, wasn't it? So I'll just have a look.
That does ring a bell, though. Actually, surveying. I think you probably.
Yeah, I think that's
probably
right.
Did.
Mission info.
So it's not a science loadout, but
No, surveying. Mhm.
you will have things like sonar and radar and stuff on it if you wanted to.
Yeah, survey. It says survey here. Survey and shallow prospecting.
Yeah, so it'll have like good sonar on it, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
if you
Yeah,
want
so
to
we
use
fire
it.
it up. Yeah, let's fire it up.
Yeah, especially if there's a lot of giant worms swimming about coming this way. We should probably keep an eye out.
So
With whatever we've got.
that's a Comtech roll for whoever is doing the sonar reading.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that.
Go on, scientist.
Go on then. Yeah, we go. No, I'm having a rest in the back to get rid of my stress. Can I do that?
Chill.
This is going to take hours, isn't it? Probably.
It is, but this is quite bumpy. This is a bit of a bumpy. Oh, it's only no. Okay, I'll let you have that, Tone. I'll give you that.
I mean, it doesn't matter how bumpy it is. Graf is still asleep in the back, resting on his bag.
Okay.
I
one
got a
success,
I got a
then?
success, but I got a panic with my one stress dice too. So we're starting things off, at a good clip here.
Okay. So roll your panic just in case, then.
That's a 6 total.
Okay. You're just holding it together. You do. You get some readings. You are out in deeper water. The water here is now probably 100 meters deep. The thing that scares you, that nearly panics you, is that there are a lot of large signatures directly beneath your dipper, and they appear to be worm shaped. They appear to be quite deep in the water, sort of maybe 80 meters, quite near the bottom. But there's a lot of them, and they're all it's not single file, but it's not in a big mass. So it's kind of in a Q shape.
All going in single file to hide their numbers.
Okay, Ivanovsky's going to die. But yeah, so you hadn't expected that. The reports you'd had shown that, or had said that the shoals were further south and east. But obviously there are shoals up here as well, and they're quite big.
How fast are they moving? Can we tell from what we've got?
One success, not terribly well, but they're not super fast. No, they're quite ponderous in their movement.
Do we think we could outrun them in our dipper if they came after us?
If they're going at this current speed, you definitely could, yeah. But you don't know how fast they can go.
Do we know much about these worms' life cycles,
No.
Mr. Scientist?
No, I don't think we do yet. No, we don't. We haven't really had time to study them much yet.
This is the first time that you'd had any that you knew were coming past the colony. But obviously, there are some here that you hadn't expected. So maybe they've been coming past the colony for longer.
Have we normally noticed them in shallower depths in the water than this? Is that why?
Usually nearer the surface, yeah.
And do we think, do they, from what we've seen of them, do they come to the surface regularly? Are they like air breathing like whales, or do we think they're water breathing like with gills or equivalent?
Make an observation roll for your science, Tone. See how much you know.
2 successes.
Okay. So no, they've never been seen to surface that you can recall. They appear to be, for 2 successes, you kind of remember what one of your fellow scientists had said, wrote a report on some they'd seen out in the depths. They appear to be sort of arthropoidal almost, and sort of segmented, and they have sort of large scaled exoskeleton rings around them that allow them to flex and and bend along their length. Their locomotion appears to be through some form of jet propulsion, sucking in water at the front and then using some kind of jet mechanism between the plates, the ringed plates, for their locomotion. But other than that, no, we don't know very much else about them.
Okay, remind me when we get back to make sure we set up a little study group to study the ones that we know are coming past as they come past the colony. But
Okay.
Anyway,
Count me in on that, Doc. Sounds fascinating.
It might need somebody to hold them off whilst he's sticking something sharp in them.
Yeah, right.
Well, if they,
Well,
in this
plus,
map,
yeah,
they'll be
we
like-
can observe them from a distance initially, can't we? Until we get an idea of their patterns of behaviour. Not just be like go and swim right up to them.
Okay, you guys still steaming north, are you?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Are you going? Are you pushing it at all, or are you just going at the, the sedate pace, sort of?
Why don't we kick it up a notch and see if the worms keep pace with us, or if it's just a coincidence that they're going around the same speed that we are. Why don't we kick up the throttle just to see? Are you cool with that, pilot?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Going a bit faster. If we're supposed to catch up with them, we need to go faster than them. So.
Yeah, we need to catch up with these
It's not
fugitives.
sedate.
Okay, so you do know, Oscar, that when you go, when you push it in these things, they do become a bit harder to handle.
Yeah.
But
a bit harder to handle is fine.
okay.
Goes silly.
No, that's fine. I do, as the weather is kicking up a little bit, I do need a piloting roll from you, please, Oscar.
Is it piloting or heavy machinery?
It's piloting.
Oh, that's not good.
Can I help him with that?
You can be sitting in the co-pilot seat, and give him an extra dice.
Push that.
You get -1 because you pushed it and you're driving quite fast.
Okay, I have to take off my stress from earlier, I guess, or not?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Keep all your stress.
So that is 1 success.
Okay, it's quite hard going. You're splashing through the waves and you're driving through, but you're okay. You're defeating the storm at the moment. I mean, it's not really a storm. It's not. This time of year, you have noticed that the storms are actually not as bad as those in sort of summer or late or autumn.
Just look around and see how many green faces there in the cabin.
Is anybody seasick? I'm not going to make you make a roll for it. I think
Yeah, I'm most definitely puking on my fine Italian leather shoes.
Probably gone back to sleep.
Do I need to take another look at the sonar to see if there's been a change in the the speed of the worms, or?
I think your previous roll was probably good enough for their will. So they don't seem to have done anything different in response to your change of pace. They seem to be doing exactly what they were doing.
Still freaked out by those shadows we saw last time we came out here.
You've got no idea what they were, I guess.
What shadows did you see?
What shadows were
why
these?
I'm scared. I don't know. It was when we came out on the last mission. When we were trying to link up the winch to the downed skiff. We were right on the edge of a like a rock shelf, and in the depths down there, we kept thinking we saw something. I don't trust this place, man.
I didn't see anything. I was too busy working.
Well, you're still safe. You made it home safe. So,
Is there an airlock type port on this?
Yes.
Okay, can I throw my pups scanners into it and eject them into the water, please?
So at the moment you're on the surface, so you could just open it. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, because pup scanners can detect life forms, atmospheric conditions, toxins, and more.
mm-hmm.
I don't know how well they work underwater, but
It doesn't say.
it says, well, it sinks.
They use anti-gravity. They use limited anti-gravity propulsion to float over difficult terrain. But
Okay.
I don't know how well they work underwater. That's down to you.
I'm going to be generous and say it works underwater, at least for now. Okay, yeah, you can chuck it in. What particularly are you trying to observe with it?
Well, basically, I can probably wanted me to do a contact roll, but I can hook it into the sensors on the ship. I should be able to hook it into the sensors on the ship. and basically the sort of stuff that my colleague Arlovski's been talking about. I think they can probably do quite a lot of it, so they can look at the atmospheric conditions and the toxins in the water and things like that, as well as give us a hopefully reasonable map of what's underneath us.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Somebody make a contact roll then to.
My contact is 4. Anybody got better than that?
I've got 7.
How many are you going to get this time? Go on.
Well, I have got quite a lot. I got 2 successes last time. Come on.
It's probably in that case. I'll you set it up and I'll patch in the security code.
So can I get a dice of help from Paul then?
Yeah, I guess so.
I've got contact.
I get 1 success. We'll stick with that.
Okay, and you're trying to detect things like the composition of the water and.
Basically, so what it says they can do is they scan the 360 degree area around the device with mapping lasers. So it will give us the terrain underneath us, hopefully, and also just get some information about the water, whether the water's toxic.
Yeah,
and
okay.
They can detect life forms. So can we get any better information on these life forms beneath us?
How many successes did you get there, Tone?
1.
Are you pushing that or leaving it at that?
Do you want to push that?
Well, I was going to say that was for hooking it up, wasn't it?
No, this is for the reading.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
Let's push it. I'll push it.
It's up to you, Tone.
Yeah. I'll push it. I get another 2 successes there. So
Okay.
I have 3 successes.
I think the range of this thing is not unlimited, but I guess it's probably a kilometer or something that it can travel away from its source. You get a good readout of the surface of the seabed, and you can see that towards the middle of the channel, the sea is continuing to fall away. The line of seaworms seems to go as far as the pups can see. There seems to be a very long convoy or chain of different sized worms. With a 3rd success there, though, you do see that there are other creatures kind of swimming around this column of sea worms. They're not doing anything other than sort of tracking them or maybe swimming around them. And these are quite big. These are sort of yellow and red striped. I mean, they don't look that dissimilar from the worms in terms of sort of having an exoskeleton. They have dozens of flippers and fins and a very big tail, and they're supremely agile in the water, whereas the worms seem to be just plodding along.
Not being a biologist or even a xenobiologist, our scientists might be better at this, but do they look like they might be herding the worms?
They definitely look like tracking them.
Okay.
Herding, difficult to tell with the little limited information you've got. But they're quite big as well. Some of those are up to 10 meters long. But they zip around very quickly. They're quite lively creatures.
And there's a lot of those around the worms as well there.
You've seen a couple of them. A few.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could they be an earlier life stage? Like a smaller version, baby ones?
Of the worm, yeah, possible.
There are smaller worms there. So there are worms of all different sizes. Okay, did you want to make another contact roll to see if you can track the other dipper?
Yes, I was.
Because I think this has probably taken a few hours, so you're now getting quite deeply out into the middle of the channel. Okay, I'm bringing the map up again, Matthew.
Just has someone else got decent contact? Want to have a go at this? As I failed it so badly last time.
I have 6.
Do you want to go? Then can we help? Can I help?
Plus 2 stress, so there's that.
You can, yeah, you can help. I think 2 people can help. There's enough space for 2 help if you've got enough to do that.
Okay, I'll ask you. I'll ask you to do it then, and I'll help.
6.
I've got 4 stress, so, 4 contact, so
I've got
I could
7.
help if no one else has.
6.
Yeah, I'll help as well.
I'm
Okay,
the
so
same.
that's
I've got
what
4
two
on
two
contact.
extra, right?
Yep.
Okay, plus. Oh yeah, we got a bunch of dice here. Yeah, 2.
2 successes. Okay, you've headed north, and so you're probably about here on the map, if you can see my cursor.
Yep.
You get 2 successes. You get quite a good signal on the other dipper, and it appears to be here.
What?
If you can see where my cursor is.
Yeah.
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 So it's a bit further east than I would have expected.
So probably another 4 or 5 hours travel time.
If that, yeah, because you're going quite fast now. But you say the water is getting choppier the deeper you get into the straits. But yeah, if you went at this pace, you could be there in an hour probably.
Those gouges taken out of the the landmass, up there. How wide are they when you compare them to the creepy crawlies down below?
Yeah, so the whole area here is underwater. The only bit above water are the islands along the edge here.
Okay.
This is shallows similar to the shallows around Solovetski Island, but you've got these much deeper channels that run through this archipelago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, are they about?
So-
how wide are they compared to the big ass worms or the big worms?
Yeah. So a lot of these channels are going to be 1 kilometer or even 2 kilometers wide.
Oh, okay.
So plenty big enough for them to get inside, at least lengthways anyway. Because what you've got here is the Notcher Straits are very deep, and then it comes up to sort of the what do you call it, the shelf, the ridge line. So it becomes much shallower when you get into the shallows here on More Kanonov, and some of it is islands actually above the waterline. But you've got a big shelf, you've got a big sort of continental shelf cliff under the water all the way along the edge there.
Yeah, looking at that map just reminds me of a worm hatchery.
Yeah, lovely. We're camped a few kilometres, 100 kilometres away from a tectonic shelf by the looks of it. That's really keen to look at.
Yeah, what are you doing, guys?
We're changing course.
Yeah. Well, we should just head for that where we think the dipper is. Should we?
Yeah,
not?
we can follow up on the worms later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. As you progress in that direction, the storm seems to ease off a little bit. The water's not quite so rough. It takes you probably an hour at the pace you're going to get into the vicinity of where that dipper, where your last signal had been. You can't see anything on the surface at that location, but obviously it's had an hour. It might have moved on since then.
And the dippers, are they submersible? So it could have been under the water.
Yep.
Of course, if it gets choppy, we can go underwater if it's not too shallow. But of course, it will be much slower.
The PUPS device should be able to detect them if we're in a reasonable range. We're within 1 kilometre.
Yeah.
Could we have another go at detecting their transponder?
You can absolutely. You can do either. Which do you want to do?
try for the transponder first, because if we're not within a kilometre, the PUPS devices aren't going to work at all.
Okay, so Orlowski, do you want to work the transponder, the whatever?
Yeah,
Transponder detector again.
Okay, so take away those 2 help dice. That's nothing. Yeah, you guys think I should give it another try? I don't know.
Well, we've got the Hutton's pups, which we could have a go with as well, can't we?
Yeah. You want to roll it, Tony? Can I add a dice to Tony's roll?
You can, absolutely.
And it's just Comtech again, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have my stress. Okay, that's 3 successes.
Excellent.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see you don't pick up the location of another dipper. I am going to bring the screen up again, if I may, Matthew. So your position is near this island here. Your pups has identified very clearly that there is all the way along the edge here, as far as its range will go, there is a procession of seaworms. Again, about 40 meters down now, maybe 30, so not that far beneath you, all processing from the northwest to the southeast. Sort of processing. Yeah.
Okay.
So the ones
we saw before were heading towards the northwest, weren't they?
Yes. So the ones you saw before, if you can see them out, we're heading along this direction here, where my cursor's going. The ones you're seeing now are heading along here.
And are we seeing those other creatures again?
Yes, most definitely. Yep. That was 3 successes, wasn't it?
Yes.
You also see a few other things as well. So you can see that in the side of the continental shelf here, the cliff, there appear to be a lot of cave entrances or holes in the side of the cliff. As your pups has got 3 successes, you do witness one of these, one of the bigger worms, one of its big rings begins to move and flex, and out from it come 3 or 4 much smaller worms, and they're about 3 or 4 meters long each, and they then proceed to head in the direction of these cavelets or these caves on the side of the cliff. As they're doing that, your pups witnesses one of these other creatures, one of these red and yellow striped things with dozens of flippers, sort of flip in, tear one of them open, and from inside, lots of sort of white blood and sort of milky substance comes out, and loads of little, what appear to be small balls come out and begin to float in the water. And they then, more than one appears out of the depths, and they start frenzying, eating the remains of that small worm.
So
I think this is about 20 meters beneath your dipper. So I think you all get 1 point of stress for seeing this, because each one of these red and yellow things is at least the size of your dipper, if not a bit bigger.
So when we were on our way up, there were the things going super slow, and there were only a couple of them kind of looking like maybe they were herding them up. And then as they were coming back down, that's when we saw a whole bunch of the fast herding kind of things show up, right?
So you saw one of them attack one of these worms, and when that worm got torn up, you saw 3 or 4 more come up from the depths and start to feast on the carcass.
It's not a significant amount greater than the amount that we saw initially. Like it doesn't look
No.
like they just like came out of the caves or whatever, from underneath. I was
No,
thinking,
they
that explains the
definitely
migration.
They definitely looked like they were coming up from underneath, from the seabed rather than from the cliff.
Okay.
So it looks like the worms are coming up here to breed.
Yeah, these
when
yellow
they-
and red things like to eat baby worms.
But when they
Yeah.
ripped that
We
thing
can-
open, didn't you say
presumably
they were
we-
little? Sorry. Go
So
on.
I'm just assuming we can record the what the pups are seeing
Yes.
for later analysis.
Did you say they were little balls that they all were gobbling up?
Yes. So when the worm got torn open, lots of little ball-shaped things came out from inside it.
Wonder whether there's some sort of eggs. Might be a
And
good
that's
source of
the-
protein for us.
Yeah, it's about farming the worms.
The animals.
So the little ball things came out of the kind of
Baby
the
ones.
small baby worms
Yeah.
when they got ripped to pieces.
I'm not a zoologist, but there's definitely some cycle of life stuff going on here.
The last thing the pups notices is sort of residue of fuel in the water, trailing away from you, heading south or southwest,
A
southeast.
residue of fuel, as in
They're
like
like the
dipper fuel.
kind of thing that would be left by a poorly maintained dipper. Yeah.
Poorly maintained rather than crashed and smashed by worms.
There's not much. Yeah, it doesn't look like debris. No. It
And
just
that's
detected
that's
the
heading
chemical
South
east,
west, east, southeast. Yeah, okay.
kind of down along the cliff line where the worms have gone or are going.
These two that have gone missing, they weren't. What were their jobs? Sorry, back at base. They
One
weren't
was a-
xenobiologists by any chance, were they?
No,
One was a prospector and one was a roughnecks mechanic sort of style.
That's right. Yep.
Can the pups are the pups able to kind of collect samples of things? Could they like try and pick up a couple of these balls that come out of their?
No, I don't think they can.
No, they can't. They're just like scanners.
Yeah,
Really.
they're about this big, aren't they? So they don't have any.
Yeah.
They don't have any manipulation arms or anything.
Because it would be quite interesting to get some samples of those. Whatever those ball things coming out of the baby worms were. But
could try and get it to go closer and see if it can analyse some of a bit, or at least the water around it.
You can try that. There is a bit of a feeding frenzy going on there at the moment.
Yeah, and this round thing might be right the same. My pup might be exactly the same size as the things they're eating. Hey, we'll get good readings from the inside of one of those things
for about a nanosecond while it gets crushed.
The balls that are coming out, you said they were floating up. There's none.
They're floating around. They're not particularly buoyant or anything. They're kind of sort of neutral buoyancy. So they're sort of in 0G almost in terms of how buoyant they are with the water. So they're not sinking, but they're not rising. They're just being battered by the other creatures in the water.
Is it worth the risk? I'm not sure how good the pup will be at. I mean, it can detect life forms, but it's really a it's really a surveying device.
Yeah, it might detect certain chemicals in the water, but it's not terribly well designed for this kind of thing.
It's not that sort of thing.
no, we probably need to. Now we know this is happening, or this happens. We need to come up with a proper plan for studying it.
Wait until the feeding frenzy is over, and then go there with a shovel.
Yeah. Probably a bit risky to go down. I'm quite tempted to just put on the suit and go down and try and get something, but
Swim with the
probably
worms.
a recipe for getting eaten.
Yeah, probably.
At this stage.
Gents, what about the oil? Surely that's what we're here for.
Yeah. We should probably go after those other guys that were actually out here. Well, this is interesting stuff, though.
Nature will be here for a long time.
Are you saying
Probably
that?
longer than us.
So, Craig, are you saying that as you kind of wake up and turn over and go back to sleep again?
Pretty much. I'm doing the military half asleep, ready and awake.
At least somebody's focusing on the mission. That's great.
Well, we don't know how long.
No, I know.
This feeding frenzy might be like an once every 10 years they come and breed here, and this feeding frenzy happens. So it might be a long time before we get to it again. Potentially, it might be every week. You never know. But
Did you say this trail was running off to the southeast?
Of the fuel, yeah.
So is that because that's left because they were going northwest and that's left behind them, or is that where they have gone? What's the reading?
I think the reading is indicating that they are heading southeast.
Okay, so they've turned.
Yeah.
I mean, from what we've seen, this is quite a dangerous place to hang around. And we should probably go southeast.
we should probably do that and actually do the mission we're out here to do.
Well, it's not a science mission;
let's
it's a science mission.
Let's go.
Well, it's cover though is a science mission, so we probably if we get a chance to do some science, that keeps our cover intact, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If we do some
We
actual
should
science.
finish the primary mission first.
Well, we've done a bit of science. No, the thing is, we've done a bit of science now.
Yeah,
Just
we've
out of
got enough
interest,
the
in
cover
this
story.
group here, who is technically the senior person in the group?
I thought this is UPP. It's a collective, isn't it?
You always have somebody coordinating. Somebody who knows the briefing.
Probably you, Tony. But if there's a hazardous situation, then it will be Corporal Gruff. If there's a prospecting, surveying situation, then it will be Hutton. If there is a decision about food or farming opportunities, that will be Prishka. So it is a bit of a by committee, really.
If there's money to be made, it's Arlovsky.
Yeah. But you probably are the most senior in terms of standing in the colony out of this 5. You probably are. Although Arlovsky, I guess, is similar at least in Lasalle's eyes, anyway.
Okay. But okay, yeah, we should go after before we lose this trail. We should go after the other dipper. Anyone disagree? No, let's go then. Come on. Okay, Oscar, follow that dipper.
Follow that. Yeah, we can't see it yet, can we? Just
You can't see it. No.
So follow that oil slick.
Yeah.
So you are now finding you've been out here for a few hours. The length of the day on this planet is 5 hours, and the sun is setting. So it's starting to get a little bit dark. Did you want to do another attempt to find its transponder before it gets dark?
Yeah, let's do that. Presumably we can bring Hutton's pups back on board before we head off, so we don't lose them.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah, we can assume that's done. That's fine.
Okay.
So it's a Comtech roll if you're going to do that.
Are you going to do that again, Arlovsky? I'll help.
I think this one's you this time.
Okay. Are you going to help me?
Yeah. Yeah.
How many can help?
2.
I'll help.
Okay. That is 4 successes.
Okay. As you're going along, you suddenly get a kind of a broken but very strong signal, and the signal clearly implies that. Well, it would normally imply you would think that it's underwater.
Yeah.
You are actually right on top of it, pretty much. but actually with that you can tell that there's something else interfering with the signal, not just depth of water.
They've been eaten by a giant worm, haven't they? So it's below us. Can we send Hutton? Do you want to send your pups down and see if we can see anything?
Can we send Hutton? I thought you were saying.
No, I'm not going.
You get your suit on. Hutton, down you go.
Yeah, I'll after having dried off the devices, I'll put them back in the tube and send them back out. I wonder if there's any more of these holes down there, and it might be in one of those. That's why you're getting the broken signal. But yeah, we'll send it out.
Okay, make your pups roll, but you can have +2 because of the strength of Ivanovsky's contact.
That's me doing the roll, yeah? Or
So it's a contact roll for that.
okay.
Or is it an observation roll?
Mm.
Don't know. I'll take an observation roll. I've got better observation than I have contact.
So do I.
Yeah, I don't know. I bet that they don't have pups in the. No, they don't have pups in there. If anyone's got a PDF, they want to look up PUPS, then that would be helpful.
I'm looking at it. What do you want to know?
Is it in the core book?
Does it say whether it's an observation or a
doesn't.
contact?
It doesn't. It's a vision device.
Now, well, I'm going to stick with contact. We've been there. So
Yeah, I mean,
you have to manipulate it, don't you?
yeah, it does basically say it hooks into a holotab or monitoring station on the command vehicle. So
Yeah.
I'd assume it's that.
Yeah.
If that is the case, I got 1 success.
Okay. Yeah, it does a bit of scouting, and you can see that there are a number of these sort of cavelets alongside, and there is definitely a oil residue going into the bigger one that's near you. It's about 30 meters down, maybe a bit deeper, 40 meters, and it's the pups is clear. That's where it went.
Because presumably we have kind of just radio comms. Could we try and
Hail them.
just hail them and see if we can get any response from them? The other dipper at this range.
You could certainly try, yeah. You get no response.
How survivable are these transponders? Are they like a black box hardened and so on, or normally when the power goes off, the transponder goes off?
I think it's probably a bit like a black box, that they've probably got a life of their own for a while.
So, okay. 40, 50 meters, did you say?
It's about 40 meters down, and then it goes into the side of the cliff.
Is it worth trying to send the pups in there a little way before we go down?
If you can maneuver them underwater. Yeah.
Can we, Dave?
I think you can. Yep. I
Okay.
think it's going to be difficult under the circumstances, but so that would be a contact roll at -2.
Anybody want to help?
I would help you if you need help.
Yeah, I'll help.
I'll take 2 extra dice then. And I get 2 successes and a stress. I'll roll stress. And I get a 6.
Okay. Your pups device goes through quite a long set of caverns. There aren't any obvious big branches off. It gets to a point where it appears to be opening out into a bigger cavern, and that's where you lose contact with it.
On its way, did it register any life sources?
2 successes. Quite nothing really specific for only 2 successes. Nothing big. Certainly some small life forms down there. Nothing but nothing big, nothing like you've seen before.
Small, like human-sized.
It might mean it's safe, but then again, it might not.
Ivanovsky, what do you think? Shall we go in there?
Well, I think we have two choices. We either just abandon these guys and say, okay, we lost them, or we go in. So I'm for going in.
Both dippers or just one?
You've only got the one dipper, just yours.
One.
Yeah, we only came with one. Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Okay, that explains
Are you
quite.
seeing things? He's been on the moonshine again, guys.
Yeah. Perhaps, who else can pilot? So, from what the pups detected in this cavern, is it big and comfortable, big enough to safely get a dipper in? As far as they went.
Yeah, it hadn't closed in any by the point that you lost the signal.
I mean, you're the pilot, Prishka. Do you think it's safe to have a go at going in?
Probably is, but underwater, I think. Yeah, we have a better qualified pilot on board. Right, Mr. Hutton?
I've got 5 in piloting. You're better at it than me, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
So let's pilot down.
Piloting is not one of my skills at all.
Sorry, I've got 6 in piloting, I should say.
Yeah. For underwater, fine motor skills, it's you.
Right, you taking the controls then?
Says the UPP man that was telling me it's not an aircraft.
Well, come on, you said I can fly it.
Yes, fly underwater.
LaSalle always, I don't know whether you've got flying dippers. Yeah, LaSalle might have that, but we in the UPP just have these plotters. But now you
multi-trained. Okay, I'll roll. Anybody? Are you helping?
Yeah, if I can.
Yeah. There is like a co-driver's seat, so absolutely.
Yeah. Backseat driver.
Backseat driver.
I'll take an extra dice then.
Yep.
And I will get 2 successes.
Okay, this is quite a challenge, though. This is dark down here. You're going on the lights of the dipper only.
I will push it.
Okay.
You don't have to finish the sentence. I'm pushing it.
Well, that's fine because I think everybody takes a point of claustrophobia stress.
Calmly does it, Mr. Hutton.
I still only got 2, and I've got another point of stress, so I'm doing a stress roll.
Don't panic when you're piloting.
That's a bit of luck. 5.
5. Okay.
In total, sorry.
Yeah, this is really creepy. As I said, you all take an extra point of stress just for the claustrophobia of this place. It is pitch black down here. The only light is coming from the dipper's lights. There are craggy rocks. There are little creatures that fit into the light and out again. It's very narrow in places. You pilot it well. You don't scrape the paintwork at any point. You don't touch the sides. But it is a little bit of a it's not fun, and you do this for probably half an hour going down this tunnel until eventually you come out and there is appears to be a surface of the water above you, and there is a little bit of light coming through that, quite dim light, but you can then bring your dipper up and onto the surface of the water.
Is it still nighttime?
It's still nighttime.
So this is okay.
I'm going to show you, Matthew. I'm putting the map up again. So if you can see the map,
yep.
You're in a cavern. This is where you can see the pups. The pups is here. It's lying on the ground, out of power or just non-functional. Doesn't look like it's been smashed or anything. Each of these hexes is about 5 meters, so it's quite a big cavern you've come up into.
So we've come up in that bit where it says pooled water.
Exactly, yeah. You can see through your lights casting in this cavern, which is otherwise pretty dark, but there is a bit of illuminescence coming from the walls and from some of the things in here. You can see there are two big cavern caves that go away, but you can't see much down there from your position in the pooled water. This is a bit like a beach, but the only area you think you could safely beach the dipper is on this side on the bottom of the pool. As your light plays across the room, there is a lot of movement. You know what it's like if you go into a room, turn the lights on, and there's there are cockroaches on the floor. You get that movement, and suddenly it's all gone. And you got that, but worse, because there's a lot of creatures in here, lots of different little things. There are some large creatures that look a bit like giant tortoises, but appear to be mollusk-like, and they are translucent and very white and pale, almost transparent in places. There are lots of sort of 8-legged insecty type things. They're about the size of a man's forearm, and they're shuffling away from the light when the dipper's light plays across them. They try and get back into the dark. A few of them drop into the water with a plop and disappear down into the water. There are a few other bits of other creatures moving about, smaller things, but this place is obviously teeming with life. There are also large clusters of what look like sort of like fluffy balled fungus. Each of them about a meter across, clumped together in groups of 20 or 25 what look like balls of fungus. There are patches of what looks like sort of white grass almost in places as well. And then there is a bit of where you haven't got those things, you've got what appears to be like a scummy foam of grey and dark sort of biomass, which just seems to coat pretty much everything. The place is obviously hot and humid. There is sort of what looks like steam in the air. You can also see on the top here what appears to be one of those small worms, but it's not moving. It's been set upon by those 8-legged insecty creatures that appear to be kind of taking it apart. And some of those ball things come out, and the insects pick them up and scurry away with them into the darkness.
Is there any sign of the other dipper?
There are dipper tracks running along this side, heading in the direction of that tunnel.
Does the dipper have a gripper? Like an arm or something that we could pick stuff up without having to go outside? As prospecting module, picking up rock samples, maybe.
It's more of a surveying rig rather than a prospecting rig, so it's more to do with scanning stuff.
Not sampling stuff.
So no, not really. No,
Oh,
it might.
pity.
It's probably got a small, what do you call it? Like a small tractor bucket kind of thing on it, but it's not really for scientific analysis.
Yeah.
So how big is the worm that's there that was being taken to pieces by the insecty things?
Yeah, it's about 3 meters. It looks like one of the little ones that came out of the that you saw come out and get attacked by those other creatures.
So can your dipper sample the air outside and see what it's like?
Well, you can use the kit.
I think it probably can. I think most of them can. Yeah, it doesn't. There's a line in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy where it's okay, but it smells a bit. But this isn't okay. So there's a high proportion of methane and ammonia in the air out there. There's only a trace element of oxygen. Quite a lot of carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfate, and nitrogen. But by far the biggest constituent is methane.
Boom.
It's not going to blow up, is it?
Well, that sounds like quite a flammable atmosphere. Although
Yeah.
I would call out to get out there and see if I can get a sample of those little balls from that worm.
Well, I want to go out there and get my pup back.
So at the moment, you're sitting on the surface of the water in that pool.
You're going to beach us.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, I won't make you make a roll for that. That's it's fairly standard. But you can get it up onto the
Yeah,
onto
can you
the
get
ground.
park us right next to that worm?
If you can get some of the fungi, that would be good as well.
Yeah.
When you said there was dipper tracks on
Yeah.
the ground, do these dippers have land maneuverability?
Yes, they're amphibious. Yeah.
So it's not been dragged off.
No. It's a sensible thing to check.
Is it a valid question? Yes.
No, it looks like it's the kind of the tracks of the dipper. Yeah.
So we could actually drive up onto the beach
Yes, completely. Yeah.
and
Which is why-
safely
which is
just
why I- Which is why I
drive next
assumed you
to
were
the
doing-
things. Yeah, drive next to the things we're interested in. Jump out, grab it, jump back in, drive to the next thing we're interested in.
I think we grab the pup, and keep going and find the dipper.
I think the scientists are going to want to have a look at those things.
I've got some, obviously sample tubes here, whatever. I'd like nip out, grab a sample of the fungus and of the balls from inside the worm. It'll just take a few seconds. Obviously, yeah, we do need to go after the other dipper, but
So
Okay, that worm is still being attended to by a lot of these
is it?
spidery insects things.
They didn't all run off then when we drove up.
No, some of them ran off, but the ones who are working on the worm continue to work on the worm. Some of them seem to be eating the worm itself. Others are taking away the balls. Do you want to make a quick observation roll, please, Tone?
Okay. That's no successes in a panic. Excellent. Excellent. And my panic is 7.
Okay, you start to twitch. Your stress level and everybody's goes up by 1.
Oh, sorry, everyone.
Because you're all in the confines of the dipper. Yeah, you're looking at them, and you can see actually how efficient and how sharp the mandibles and the pincers of these ants things, spidery things are, as they're kind of chopping up, almost butchering in a human sense of butchering a cow or a sheep or something, butchering this worm, kind of wrapping it up in some quickly secreted sap or resin or something, and then dragging off these little packets in a very, very efficient and organized way.
True collective.
Yeah, I should invite them to join our colony.
Yeah, maybe we should.
okay.
So this the white fungus looking stuff, is that away from the kind of fungus balls and the white grass? Is that away from the worm?
Yes, yeah. There are patches of those all over the place.
So, chaps, I would still like to go out and try and get some samples of this stuff. Looks like it might be a bit risky going for the worm, but I'm tempted to try anyway. Can we just stop for a second?
Yeah.
I'm
I still want to go out and get my pup, so I'll come out with you.
Okay, I'm going to get suited up.
I was going to say, I'm assuming you're getting suited up. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to hold my breath.
Okay, who's going out? You can squeeze Well, you can squeeze 2 into the airlock at one time.
Let them two go. And
Well,
Well,
I'll go if we're worried about these things being a threat, given I'm probably the only one armed.
you are the only one armed. You wouldn't give us a gun.
well, you can borrow my cattle prod if you want.
My suit's got air, so I can go out earlier
You can't
and
open the door, really.
wait for
Do the
those.
suits
Wait
not
for
all
more
have
people.
air?
Don't know.
Yeah, all the suits have air. Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, it's not much use if it doesn't have air. So I can either
yeah. These ones
go and
haven't been
breathe the
sabotaged
methane
like last
atmosphere.
time.
You said you were going to hold your breath, Tony, so I took you at your word. Mind you,
a reference
based
to
on
last-
your panic level at the moment, you should probably stay inside.
well, that's true.
This Will just died or something.
Just looking for something.
Are you
There you
okay,
go.
Will?
Oh no, I wasn't muted. Oh, that's a bummer. I dropped my lighter and then proceeded to dump my entire dice tray on my hat, and I was trying to play it cool and not say anything. Rico
was just
Suave
going to
right
say-
here. This is the Lasalle guy, keeping it smooth.
I was just going to say, I lost you.
20.
Have you scanned whether we have a better signal of the other dipper from down here?
Actually, that's not a bad idea. I'd imagine that the with it being kind of tunnel-like, that would we get a better signal, but with it not being all spread out? Like, are we able to?
You can certainly try again. Absolutely.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I don't think I'll make a roll for this because the signal
because they're all on the floor.
is strong and close. The signal is within 100 meters of you.
Is there a way to determine the I don't know, like can we tell based on the signature whether or not it's just like electricity running or is the engine powered up?
You can't just tell. You get its
it's just like a
signal.
ping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if that white stuff's all around, like all the things that you guys are wanting to get a look at, we're gonna have to leave the skiff anyway. Do you want to wait until we're at least within like visual distance from the other skiff, just so that we're not in and out a bunch? It's like right up here. You can see the ping on the thing.
Yeah. Should we? Yeah, good idea. Should we just head for the skiff and then look at the other stuff on our way back?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll agree to that. Let's go.
Good call. Lasalle all the way.
Okay. You're driving the dipper, following the tracks, eh? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to bring the map up again. Matthew, if you are there, that'll be good. So if you can see the map.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. So you could see this area before. As you kind of move along here, you can see that in the center of this are what appear to be, imagine a like a load of sort of geysers, or like the black smokers that you get on the bottom of the ocean. It's kind of that coming through here, and it's created these sort of stone stacks, which are basically hydrothermal vents. That you've got stalactites coming down from the top. You've got water bubbling up. It's obviously very warm. It might not be water. It might be something else. There's quite a lot of steam in here. Could
this be one of the geysers? Sorry.
It's definitely fed by similar geological processes for sure. Yeah. You do see, similarly to the first part, this place again is full of the fungus, full of these plants, lots of these little creatures, and these large mollusks seem to be around. The spidery creatures seem to be piling up those balls in the water amongst the stacks in this central area. But you also see over here a dipper parked, and there are a couple of people in suits working by the edge of the vent stack over there.
I got to hand it to these guys. It was pretty smooth. If they wanted to steal from the colony to go right to the source underground.
I think they were not really trying to steal. I think they were trying to come up with a good discovery that could allay people's troubles and just have something positive to look forward to after all this rumored rhodium.
Yeah.
Well, if we could get some power conversion units down here, this hydrothermal stuff would be useful.
Yeah.
They've obviously seen your dipper.
So we don't need to beep our horn. Okay.
I think we need to get our dipper up to there.
How are they reacting? Yeah, let's head over towards them. Frank? Oscar, sorry.
Sorry, how are they reacting?
They're both in suits, so you can't really see their face or anything. It's still pretty dark, obviously, in here, apart from the light from your two dippers, with a bit of bioluminescence going through to give the place quite an eerie sort of glow.
Can we tune into the suit radios?
You get a crackle on your comms, and this voice comes through. This is none of your business. What are you doing here? Go away, but get away before somebody gets hurt. Go on. Leave. We're here, not you.
We're concerned about your safety. We're here to see what's going on, make sure you're safe. There were concerns. We're an official mission from the colony. We're all working together in the colony. If it's colony business, it's everyone's business. Let's head over there. Quick, Oscar, get as close as you can.
That's not how the bloody leadership says it. They're hiding everything from us. You're just tools of the capitalists. I bet you're in bed with the bloody Lasalle corporation bastards. We should never.
No, he's sleeping in the back, not us. Guys, come on. It's Oscar here. We're just here to help, really. We're building you a bridge here. Work with us.
You hear another voice come across, a female voice. As you knew that Yin Shiffun is a woman.
Oh, I thought they were both men. Okay.
It says, "Look, we're working. We're doing what we came here for. Just leave us. Go away. The leadership isn't helping us.
We are not the leadership. Come on, you know me. I'm not Lasalle.
But you're working for them.
I'm working for the UPP. I'm working for the colony. I'm working with you, like you guys, to establish a future that is actually sustainable here. So come on, we are offering you branch here. Yeah, if you want to just get on with it, fine. But if you need help, we're here.
No, we're fine. We don't need any help. We were fine before you arrived. Yeah, we're fine now. Just go. You're just disturbing stuff. You're disturbing all the creatures here. You're disturbing everything. You're disturbing the finds. You're disturbing us. Go back to your LaSalle paymasters. Go on, off you go.
I only own UPP credits.
Hutton looks at Arlovsky and says, "So much for UPP communities."
Yeah, I mean the jig's up at this point too. They know about the Rhodium. So, are we gonna let them get out of here with this shipment? I mean, and then I kind of looked to the rest of the guys like, what do you guys want to do here?
To Arlovsky. So the Rhodium is not just a rumor.
I mean, look at them digging. They said
is there something you want to mention? Yes. So
I wasn't on that mission. So
these guys are doing something with Rhodium. We think, is that right?
No. I think because these guys were talking about the Rhodium, now Arlovsky says they know about the Rhodium. Should we let them get away with it? Firstly, that tells me that the Rhodium is true, and secondly, of course, anything that you hide is essentially a lie. And if you lie to each other, you poison the atmosphere. No wonder that we don't thrive if we lie to each other. Come on, we need to be open and honest with each other. And if Lasalle don't get that...
Sorry. How close are we at this point, Dave?
I think you can park right up behind their tipper by now. Yeah.
Well, I think while they're having an ideological debate, I'm going out the airlock.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I want to start extracting the wealth from this fucking shit. I want to start extracting the wealth from this rock as soon as possible. So, I'm totally cool with coming back with a king's ransom worth of this stuff. What do you say we help them out, and come back heroes? I mean, for the good of the people and all.
Change our tune. I'll just go on the radio and say, guys, don't really want to annoy you, but what have you actually found here?
Orlovsky, are you working with these guys?
I'm working for myself. Why don't we just see what they found, and you just kind of smile and get like, oh man, money, that one of those deals. If I would have opened my mouth and exposed this whole all these riches publicly when we got back from the scientific site last time, it would have been on me. But if these guys come back with a bunch of rhodium, publicly like a bunch of heroes, then we could start really kicking things into high gear and extracting all the wealth out of this place. Rising tide raises all ships, kind of thing.
But we don't know for sure these guys have found rhodium here, do we?
In response to your question, Frank, the guy says, "Look at this. We've got seaworm eggs. We've got creatures. We've got fungus. We've got
precisely. This is great. This is really good discovery.
But we're all being held down by one oppressor or another. We should be here." And this is Yi Jun talking, and he says, if the leadership are going out for themselves, then we should go out for ourselves. This is our chance to break free. Let's all do this. Let's all do this together. Don't tell anybody else. We've got nothing to lose but our chains. We can make it here. We can send the money back on the next transport secretly. We'll all be set for life. Rather than
irrespective of whether we're Lasalle or UPP, we're one colony. And the only way we're going to survive is by being one colony.
But any success from the colony should benefit all of the colony.
I'm afraid I have to agree.
Can I have a group manipulation roll, please? So
How does that work?
Person with the best manipulation, I think.
That won't be me.
That is not
five dice. I get 5 dice of manipulation.
It won't be me.
I've only got 3, and
that would be 8 for me.
Anyway.
That would be 8.
8.
Did anybody beat 8? I mean, yeah.
No, nowhere near.
I should get a -1 though for the just the look of dejection when they start talking about fungus and eggs and all this, like, this Bambi nature stuff. He's just, you see him deflate like a balloon.
It is food.
Yeah, I'm not getting any replacement shoes, but
I think you get +2 for what Hutton and Prishka have been saying.
Okay, let me take my hat off so I don't knock over my desk again. I got to pick up those dice. This is streaming gold, folks.
You could have muted the mic.
You don't get this anywhere else,
No, this is special. We get a nice shot of the tat as well.
Yikes. Okay, did I get 10 of them? Yep.
Matt, don't leave it on full screen, mate. Bring it back. That's it. How are we doing there, Will?
Well, I'm trying to roll dice in a closet. But there was 3.
Okay. So you hear over the radio Yin saying, "We didn't come here for us. We came here for the people."
Exactly.
And she sounds a bit upset and shocked. Okay, Craig Moritz.
I'm going to go out with it. I'm going to go out there. If Graf is going out of the airlock, I'm going to go with him.
Well, I probably started cycling it while you were trying to talk to them on the radio.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'll have to follow him next time. Graf, what are you doing? So this brings you out. This brings you out at the back.
Yeah,
and they are the other side.
I'm going round and I'm pointing my pulse rifle at them.
Okay. As you come up, can I get you to make an observation roll, please? Matthew, I'm going to bring up the map. And where did the map go? Give me a moment. I will bring up the map in a moment. Okay, Matt.
No successes and one on my stress die.
Okay, so roll for your panic.
Remind me how many I roll for panic again. Is it just D6
So
plus my...
Yes.
D6 plus your
plus
stress.
the number of stress. Yep. So if you're there, Matt, if you could put the map up for us.
The map is up.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
That's a 5 on the stress.
Okay, yeah, you hold it together. This place is really spooky. I think as you come round past your past Graphs, not Graphs. That's really Graph. Frank Graph. This is too confusing.
You know, Prishka's
Dipper. You can just see there's lots of little things. There just seems to be movement everywhere. The big things don't seem to be moving, and you can't really see anything in particular. It just feels like the environment is moving almost. It just feels really creepy.
In that case, I'm going to make certain to stay in the light that's cast from our dipper.
Yep. And okay,
start going towards them.
Raising your pulse rifle.
Yep, and telling them to cease this illegal operation and be prepared to return to the colony.
That's not the way.
Yin shrieks and goes, "Oh, don't shoot! Don't shoot in here!" She also says,
"Corporal, it's a highly flammable atmosphere. Remember, so
Indeed.
so a little bit of care with your firearm might be advisable."
The Yijun kind of just stands still and it says, "This is just ridiculous. All we're trying to do is make a living for ourselves and our families, and you stooges of the corrupt leadership. If this is the way it's going to be,
by following orders for the good of the colony. When you make the decisions yourselves, you're no better than Lasalle."
No better than Lasalle. Okay, I'm going to take that off.
I am going to follow him out of the airlock when I can.
Yeah.
Soon I'm still suited up.
Okay, Moritz, can you make a manipulation roll? But I'll give you.
Not very good at.
I'll give you +1 for having the rifle.
Should be -1 for having a rifle.
That one success.
Yijun seems to have hesitated, but Yin says, "Yeah, I surrender. I'll come with you. There's more of them. They're behind the dipper."
More of what?
People. I think I might get you to draw initiative now.
Oh dear.
Okay.
More of them. All right.
Tony, you were cycling the airlock, weren't you?
Yes.
Okay, so Craig, you are on 6s. I'll do initiative for everybody. Tony, 7s. Will, 3. Paul, 8. Frank, 9. And they go on 1s. You failed your observation roll So some of you can see out of the darkness between the two dippers comes somebody who then tries to whack Moritz over the head with something heavy. Difficult to tell what it is.
Is it somebody or somebody?
It's a person in a compression suit. Well, actually, what's he got? It's that one. She got. Where are we?
Probably some piece of UPP rubbish.
She's a bit crap. So she's coming up behind you. And she's trying to sever your air hose.
Okay.
But she misses. But she's come up behind you with a knife and she's tried to slash it and she's missed. Okay, threes. Will, it's your action. But you are inside the dipper.
Yeah, so I kind of look over at Hutton. So are we getting involved in this? Are we suiting up, or I feel like is this a UPP family spat, or I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what HR is going to say about all this.
Well, yeah. I mean, technically you're in charge, but we can't let that guy get killed.
Come on, Lasalle, operating procedure. If it's any kind of legitimate risk, the guys up top don't make the real decisions. I'm delegating to you. What do you think we should do in this situation? When I file my TPS report, I need to make sure that.
Okay. So
you got somebody to blame.
That's it.
That's at least 5 seconds worth. Craig, it's your action.
I'm going to swing my rifle round and club whoever's just attacked me with it.
Yeah. Okay. It's a close combat roll.
Close combat. Oh, I like that roll. I'm good at that. That's 3 successes.
Okay, so that's going to be effectively a heavy tool. So that's going to be 4 points of damage, of which she mitigates none. Okay.
Well, actually, can I spend one of those successes to knock the knife from their hand?
Yes, you can do that, but you also need to roll D66 because you've she's down basically. You've smashed the knife from her, but the blow has hit her really hard.
Well, shouldn't have surprised me then. It's a 12 on the D66.
12. Okay, she's stunned, so she's gone down. She's dropped the knife. She sort of landed in the water. And she's broken. I think probably you've also put a crack in her helmet, and you can hear the air hissing. It's not going to kill her straight away, but she's down. That was quick. Yishun kind of goes, okay. Yin is already kind of effectively. Thanks, Matthew. Why was so? And you do hear also another voice over the comms saying, I'm coming out. I didn't want any part of this anyway. I only came because Ming convinced me. And another suited person comes out from behind the dipper. So I think we're probably coming out of initiatives there now.
Totally, we should stay out of
get
it.
a turn.
I guess that's what you have security for, isn't it? I guess.
We need to rescue her. Come on, before she suffocates. We need to do something.
Yes, as soon as somebody else is there to help, I'll leave. Who was it that was coming out? Was it
Ivanovsky? Was Tony?
Ivanovsky?
Yeah, I'm coming out.
Take a duct tape.
I'll motion to him to get this attacker and help him.
Okay.
Them.
Is anybody else going out with Ivanovsky?
I was suiting up on the way over to go and get my pups, so I can.
Okay. Can I have an observation roll from people who are outside the dipper, please?
I get 2 successes on that and no panic.
I get 2 successes and a panic, and my panic levels.
Did I say on -3 on that?
No, you didn't.
No,
You didn't.
Did I? Okay, it should have been -6. Okay, this could be for something else then.
And I get 1 success.
Do we need to roll again on my with observation for -3 on -3?
Yes, please.
oh,
Sorry,
thanks.
that was my mistake. Sorry. My excuse is I got vaccinated earlier today, so I'm obviously not. I've got blood clots and chips flying around my body now, so it's all right.
No successes.
I get-
and no panic.
I do get 3 successes, but I also get a panic.
No successes and a panic.
And my panic is 8.
My panic
Okay.
is 5. Again.
Okay, Paul.
My panic is 5.
Okay, you two are holding it together. Tony, you start to tremble uncontrollably. All your rolls using agility suffer -2. Now you succeeded, didn't you, Tone?
I got 3 successes.
So
Yeah.
I think you panic because you've all seen this kind of like movement out of the corner of your eye that just seems to happen, but there's nothing there. And you suddenly your view with 3 successes has finally resolved on what some of that is, and it's a tiny little creature that seems to have more kind of like teeth on it than anything else. And this little thing is kind of on the side of a stack next to you, and you see it. And you panic as it jumps onto your suit and makes an attack against you.
It's a tooth fairy.
Can you roll a d6, please, Tony?
Oh no, it's got a signature attack. Bastard. 4.
4. Okay, this thing takes a bite at your suit, and you can see where it bites that the suit is slightly corroded. It's definitely affected it, but it obviously didn't get the response it wanted, and it jumps off into amongst the hypothermic stacks again, and you lose sight of it. But it definitely, you can see like a bit of smoke coming off like corrosion smoke coming off your suit, where it's this tiny, literally it's a centimetre or 2 at the most.
Can I kind of try and wipe it clean to stop it burning through?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to burn through. It
Okay.
just looks like a little bit of a corrosion on it. Obviously,
Okay.
it found that it was harder to bite through than it realised.
Okay, I will report what I've seen. I'll say, watch out for the little jumpy, teethy creatures.
Bite us.
Did you make a successful roll as well, Craig?
No, I didn't get any successes.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, Craig. Paul. Can you roll? So you didn't see this thing. These things have been kind of sniffing out all this activity, and one of them is coming for you. So can you roll a d6, please, for its signature attack? You've got no idea that this is happening, or this is coming.
Hang on, just getting a dice. 6. Yay!
Ouch.
Okay, you might not notice anything depending on how well it does.
That's good and bad all at the same time.
You get a little warning on your suit of suit breach, minor suit breach, and then you can feel something inside the suit with you, something small touching your leg.
Oh, that sounds bad.
Do I not get an armour save?
No, not for this, I'm afraid.
Right.
I'm wearing the finest Lasalle Exo all-world survival suit.
There you go. High tech, but useless in the field.
And you can feel it. I think that's an extra point of stress for you, Paul. It's small, it's tiny, but you can just feel it moving about on your leg. What are you doing, guys?
So have I seen the one attacking Ivanovsky?
No, I don't think you have.
I think I've told you about it though. I have said these things are out.
So I'm keeping an eye out. I don't know anything about the one attacking Hutton yet, and I'm probably rounding up the rest of the agitators.
Yeah, they are. They're complying. There's 3 of them now, and the one on the floor that I guess Tony was looking at. Will, you're muted, mate.
Yeah. So, all right. So, Hutton is where, and compare like how far out of the ship or anything like did I see him get attacked yet, or
no? From the inside, you saw nothing. You couldn't see nothing at all.
And then when and then did it come over the comms when we were alerted about the other attack, or was it just like the people outside?
Everyone would hear that. Yeah. So
yeah. Okay.
Everyone would have heard.
Okay.
Heard what Tony said. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So yeah, if that's if I just heard Tony, then do we have lights on the inside or any kind of like like the swivel, something like that to get some illumination? And then,
I think you do. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess throw the lights and then start getting a suit on.
Yeah, you probably heard me go, ouch, what was that?
Paul, can you make another D6 roll, please?
Do I not get an attempt to kick it off?
It's inside your armor. Unless you take
your
suit off, you can't get rid of it.
4.
Okay, you can't feel it for a moment.
Okay, I'm going to.
Sorry, just say, Prishka, what are you doing?
I think I would probably just go on the radio and do something like, "Come on, guys! Yeah, we need to get out of here. Be calm. They're not traitors. They just had an idea of making progress on their own. So we need to get them bundled up and out of here."
Are we all going to fit in just the one, or we're going to need to take two skips all the way back, right?
Yeah,
you can fit in one for short journeys.
We might as well take both. Some of us could go in the other dipper.
Well, the people are outside
we
already.
can take one back with the prisoners, while the rest of you can return to your science expedition.
But immediately, though, we've got somebody down with a breach in their helmet, so I'm going to start dragging them towards the other dipper. Their dipper.
Their dipper. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And as I'm going to say to the others, what have you found here? What have you got samples of those worm egg things or that fungus in your dipper?
They've got some of the eggs so far.
Okay, I'm going to say to one of the other people that come and grab whoever this is and get them into the dipper. And then I'm going to go. So they've got samples of the eggs. I'm going to go and try and get a sample of this white fungus if there's some nearby.
Yeah, there's definitely. Yeah, within maybe 10 meters.
Okay, I'm going to go as quickly as I can. I don't want to hang about. I just want to, open a sample tube and just get some of it into it.
Yeah.
And then I will go back onto head towards the other dipper. Once I've done
that. Okay.
Hutton, have you said anything about having a suit breach or that, or did you literally just go ow over the radio?
I went ow over the radio, and then I went ow over the radio. And if you can see me, I'm hitting the various parts of my suit.
He's gone
Well,
mad.
he's acting weird at this point. So, yeah, I'll go and check him. Just wander over and go, what? You okay, dude?
Make another D6 roll, please, Paul.
Yeah, thanks. 5.
We had a 5 before, didn't we?
No.
No, 6 and 4.
Paul, can you make a stamina roll, please? You there's a beautiful smell inside your suit that you're beginning to breathe. You've never smelled before.
3 successes.
Okay, you're feeling quite woozy, but you just managed to overcome that smell with 3 successes. But it's inside your suit, and I guess your suit is circulating it, so some of it's getting filtered out. But yeah, that was almost really mesmerizing in such a unusual and beautiful smell.
Corporal, we've got to follow contamination procedure.
Oh, crap.
You need to get in the ship, then I can come into the airlock and I'll stay in the airlock on the way back.
Well, I'm taking the other ship I'm going to start. You're still walking, aren't you? You're not down.
I'm still walking so far.
I'm going to make sure he gets into that airlock and the one that we came in, and then I'm taking the other. I'm going in the other dipper with the prisoners.
As I hear this, and I'm going to, I'm probably going to come back over then to Hutton because I want to try and nab this little creature and get it in one of my sample boxes so we can study it.
It's inside my suit.
Yeah, so you're going to take your suit off, aren't you? Once you're back in the.
Oh yes, yeah.
So rather than
you'll
kill it,
then
and
you'll
we'll
be contaminated.
No, then I'll have a sample of an interesting creature.
If the two of you want to ride back in the airlock in decontam, that's fine with me. Just get in there.
It's only 5 hours, 6 hours?
I agree.
So Tony, you're getting a sample of the fungus.
Yes.
Can you roll a d6 for me, please, Tony?
Oh dear. 2.
Your turn.
Now, as you do it, you disturb the fungus, and it's got a very sort of like mild bioluminescence to it anyway. But as you're doing that, it kind of flashes lots of other different colors. You almost think it's kind of a warning mechanism or something, but nothing else happens. But it's that's a bit kind of almost by contact, it flashed up.
Okay, I'm going to still try and get a sample of it.
Yeah, it's quite malleable. There's quite a lot of other little creatures floating about on it. But yeah, nothing big nearby. Paul, roll d6 again, please.
1.
2.
2. The smell that was so beautiful is suddenly become pungent and stinging. Can you make another stamina roll, please?
Sorry, 3 successes.
3. Okay, it's really unpleasant. It's stinging, but almost making you cough uncontrollably. But you're managing to resist it. The smell has gone from being something beautiful and wonderful to stinging and acrid and horrible. And
I'm getting into the airlock.
Yeah,
I don't care if Dimitri wants to take samples. I'm getting into the airlock and recycling the airlock.
Okay. Arlovsky and Prishka, what are you doing? You're both still inside the dipper, aren't you?
Is everybody back in now in the airlock, or is there still somebody waiting outside? That's what I would want to check.
I think
Yeah.
I'm still outside, and I think Dimitri's still outside.
So I'm going to just say, which way are you going to go? This dipper or the other?
Well, if Hutton's in there, he's in there. You got to decontam him now, so I guess we're taking the other dipper.
Okay, so he's going to stay in the airlock. Okay.
Yeah, I think just with the spotlight, if I never saw Hutton, then as you get your sample or whatever, try to use the light, to cover you so you don't get attacked by one of those weird worm things, and just kind of, keep you illuminated until you get back in, into the other skiff there.
Yeah, as the light falls across Dimitri, you do see that it does push back a few of the other creatures that try and move out of the light. It wasn't that they were coming to attack him or anything, but it does push them back a bit further.
Yeah, they don't like the light, guys. Turn on your torches.
Okay, Tony. Yeah, you can get yourself a sample. That's not too much of a problem. And then you're getting into the dipper with Graf.
So, which dipper's Hutton gone in?
Hutton's gone in the original dipper, but he's shut the airlock and he's cycling it.
Okay, in that case, I better get in the other one then.
You're saying cycling, but we're not going to let him in. We just had the message on decontamination, so I'm locking the inside door.
Well, Hutton, actually, maybe I will go to that one then and stay in the airlock with you, because if you're sitting in the airlock, you're going to be sitting in the airlock with this little thing in your suit. So maybe we can. I've got my sample boxes. We can catch it in there. Then it won't eat you anymore. So I'm going to the. I'm going to the same dipper that Hutton's in.
Are you opening the airlock again then, Paul?
I'm not. No. I want to get out of this. I want to get out of this suit.
Okay. I need one more D6 roll, please, as you're beginning to unstrap your suit.
You only got 6 hours in there, so a lot of rounds.
3.
3. I've only got a roll of 1 now, and I've done the lot.
Okay, yeah, you don't know what it's doing. You can't feel it at the moment.
Hence, I want to get out of this suit.
Yeah, so Graf, the other guys have dragged the other person back into the second dipper, and you can join them.
Well, I'm not joining until I know what Dimitri's doing.
Okay.
I'll go in the second dipper, the other dipper. I think Hutton's not going to want to let me anyway, as you say. If you can catch it, Hutton, for me, then and kind of rather than kill it, that'll be good. But I'm going to go for the second dipper.
Yeah. Okay.
Graph.
So, Paul, you let's just resolve your situation. So, are you taking your suit off?
Yes.
Okay, I think we'll just focus on that for a moment. So, Paul, you're on 1s.
Oh dear.
It's on.
Taking clothes off.
It's on whatever. What's its speed? Speed is only 1. Okay. Yeah, so you're beginning to take your suit off. It'll take you a couple of rounds to get it all off, I think, which is about 10 seconds. Roll another D6, please, Paul.
6.
6.
I've had before.
Okay. As you're taking your suit off, you can feel it now rummaging, trying to get underneath your long johns or whatever it is you're wearing. Your Lasalle edition, edition long johns or whatever, and it's kind of got under there as well as you're now taking your suit off.
Right. So I know where it is.
I think you've got an idea where it is now. Yes.
I punch it.
Okay, you are punching yourself at the same time.
I don't care.
Okay.
It's it. I've got it between my fist and my leg.
So you need to make a close combat roll. It's tiny and it's fast, so it's at -2.
1 success.
Okay, and how much damage is that?
I've got a.
It's 1, isn't it? With the fist, it's 1, isn't it?
Well, I've got a strength of 4. I don't know.
Doesn't make any difference.
Right.
Okay, you definitely hit it. It doesn't seem to do much to it. It gets another roll, another attack, please, Paul. 1d6.
Oh, that one went across the table. 2 again.
2.
Stamina roll.
Okay, again, you get this blast of pheromones. You've got to beat 2 successes.
It's not going to do it.
I got 2 successes.
Ooh.
Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough. It's your action again. It's
I really want to.
It's under your underclothes now.
It's in your underpants, Paul.
And I've still got the suit on over the top of it.
We've got half the suit on. You're half off.
I'm going to carry on taking the suit off.
Yeah. Okay. It gets another attack, Paul.
Thought it might. Oh, I've got 1 hat trick. I've done all 6 numbers now.
Okay.
Lottery.
Okay. It's doing a close combat attack on you. Oh, okay. Gets 1 success. You take 1 point of damage, Paul. And where it was under your long johns on your leg, there was a little centimeter long bump. You kind of see it go down, and you get no pain for a moment, and then you get a searing pain.
That doesn't sound good.
As it's burrowed into your leg.
We just started playing Alien.
I always die.
You only took 1 point of damage. It's not killed you yet.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah, it's just burrowing inside you. So what could possibly go wrong?
So you can't. A little bit of blood. You can see it on your long johns.
Yeah.
I think you probably gained 1 point of stress for that as well, please, Paul.
Thanks.
Has the airlock
thank you.
finished cycling yet? At this point,
So, well, it is, but it's locked from the inside because Prishka locked it, so he can't get in.
He's in decontamination mode, so he's like.
Okay. Right. I just if it's been cycled already and you got the thing off, is there a fire extinguisher in there, like one of those the ones that make stuff super cold? Seriously, I mean, they're following thermal vents, like spray yourself in the leg, make that, make it an inhospitable host, make it crawl itself back out. I'm not coming in there to help you, so you got to figure this out on your own, man. I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there is.
Decontamination.
I'm not sure there is one of those inside the airlock of a dipper. No, although it's a good idea.
I'd say get a belt and a hacksaw then.
Yeah. Well, there's not a lot I can do because I haven't got a knife or anything, so I can't try and cut it out. And it's burrowing into my leg.
All right, I'm gonna peel out then. I guess just take off back for home as fast as we can. I can't drive, but I mean he's gonna dive, and I can't even get in there because of the decontamination thing. So,
well, if you want to get in there, I can let you in, but I can't let him into here.
Okay, yeah.
So unlock the indoor, the inner door, but yeah, right. I can't then let you back in.
Is there not any equipment like a med kit or anything in the airlock?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
I don't think there is in the airlock. There will be an emergency aid kit in the Dipper's stores.
Up to you, Alosky. Do you want to take it and go in there?
I mean, man. I better get a promotion for this. Yeah. Just shut the door behind me. I'll,
grab it.
See what I can do.
Go for it.
Okay, let's just quickly jump to the other guys. So you're getting into the second dipper. The the guys are being compliant. with you waving your pulse rifle at them. Yeah. Are you all beginning to head back?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess check the person that Graf hit. Try and get their suit off, at least their helmet, and check them over medically.
Yeah. Okay. Make a medical aid roll then, Tone. There is a med kit in that dipper as well, so you get the bonus for that.
So I'll get 1 or 2 dice for the medkit.
2.
Okay, that is 3 successes and no panic.
Okay, yeah, she's okay. She's gonna live. With 3 successes, you do note that she has a little puncture wound kind of on her upper shoulder that's kind of sort of sealed behind it a little bit. Quite small little puncture wound, maybe with a little wisp of corrosive smoke coming off it. But she's unconscious.
Okay,
Nothing to worry about.
So that's a bit weird. So have we kind of heard what's been happening with?
I think so. Yeah.
You mean my screams over the comms?
Well, it's the reason for the screams. This thing having burrowed under your.
Yeah, I suppose I've been going. It's inside me. It's got in my leg.
So for that 3 successes, then I can't kind of tell that this thing has buried, and knowing what happened over there, that it's burrowed in and better to kind of see where it is.
No, the 3rd success basically allowed you to identify that.
Okay, so we probably.
Okay, back to the other dipper. Orlovsky, are you going to go and a minute see what you can do with medical aid?
Yeah. I mean,
Butcher.
yeah. Mechanically, am I just doing like a flat like medicine roll, or is taking the time to like take a look at his leg and all that first, like like observation or something like that to see what's going on with him before.
I mean, narratively, yes, but in terms of mechanics, it will be a medical aid roll.
Okay.
Plus two for the med kit.
Okay.
And I think you're trying to dig down where it's been.
Nope.
No successes.
No, I'll push it though. Yeah, I don't have any points in that.
Take an extra stress.
And one more. Hey, I got one on the last stress dice though. just one. Okay, I got a 6. Sorry, I got a 6 on the last stress die.
Yep.
So 1 success.
So this thing is obviously trying to avoid being got, and you kind of get into it, and you dig down to it, and with the knife you flip it out, and it lands on the floor. Paul, he's done quite a lot of damage to your leg there, and it hurts like fuck. You're going to take 2 points of hit point damage.
I'm down to 1 health.
But this thing is now.
I'm really impressed that Orlovsky actually did this, put himself at risk for a fellow man without the prospect of being paid for it.
But this little thing's still alive, so it's not over yet, guys. Initiatives. Orlovsky, you're on 6.
I was really hoping the oxygen would be
you're on 9.
Deadly to him.
It is on 10. Oh, you lucky buggers. It's there. It's about 1.5 centimeters long, covered in Hutton's blood, wriggling about, getting itself back in. It looks like it's going to make another jump for one of you.
Sorry, what was my initiative, Dave?
I think you were 9s or 6s.
I think I was 6s and you were 9s.
Yeah. So you both go before the creature, but Orlovsky, it's your action.
Okay, so would we be able to do a move roll to get through the door? Like just get through the door and shut it, kind of deal.
You could do that. You could just stamp on it, I guess.
Hmm.
But up to you entirely what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm scared of anything that lives in the water. It's just gross and slimy, and I did enough brave things today. I'm thinking.
You're getting back in. Okay.
Yeah, that was terrifying. So,
Paul.
I'm following him as best I can.
Okay, yeah, and your second action is to hit the button to shut the door.
Yeah.
I assume. Okay. The door, as the door shuts, you can see this little thing there scampering in your direction, but the door shuts before it gets to it. So the airlock is shut with that little creature in it.
Shut.
Okay.
If we open the back door, will it crawl out and run away? I mean, just open it up, like go back to your family, You
can open up the outer door, absolutely.
Yeah. I want to try that, as we're driving off, and hope he runs away.
Yeah, I'll give you that. You do notice it going back to its native environment, dropping out the back.
Well done, Arlovsky. Well done.
Thanks, man. I'll give you some of my bonus if I ever get it.
So you're bleeding quite a bit, Hutton, but you're okay. You're not going to die.
Can I do anything to help him? I mean, he's not broken yet, but I've got a little bit of medical aid.
I guess you can make him comfortable, but I'm not going to make him make a roll for that. You can't recover hit points, and he hasn't taken a critical. So
I patch him up.
Who's driving out of you three?
That's why I was hoping to heal him.
He can drive. He's not broken.
Good. Hutton?
It's nice to see the sole motivation for making me survive is so I can drive out of here.
Not the sole motivation.
Yeah, the main motivation, obviously, but
possibly.
Okay, I'm going to need a piloting roll at -2 for both dippers to get out of the tunnels.
Can I assist?
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think I will let you know, whilst I might have a good piloting skill, I've also now got 7 stress dice.
Well, if you would like me to pilot and you can assist, that's fine. I'm a bit
That's probably wise, yes.
Yeah, it might stop us from crashing into a wall, because you know what? This is not going to bode well if I roll a bad one.
That could be berserk, almost berserk.
Would painkillers help? With that. Like
if somebody has nap relief, that will take your stress away.
That was the other game, wasn't it?
You got nap relief?
No, I have the opposite. I've got the go fast. I was just seeing if somebody else had any kind of medical.
You did say you were going to bring some drugs. I thought you might have just picked up a handful.
Well, yeah, no, yeah. It was. I think I specifically stated that it was the never sleep. So yeah, it's kind of the opposite. If you're tired, you won't fall asleep on the way back home. But I can't take the pain away.
Okay, guys. Considering the time, I'm not going to make you make a roll for that because I think you can go through slowly.
Okay. Pity.
And sorry. And you can get yourselves back to Solovetski Island about dawn the next day with your samples of the eggs, samples of the fungus. The woman who you would recognize her well enough to know what her name is. Her name is Ludmila Arazan. She remains unconscious for the journey, and you see no sign of this wound changing or anything.
So as soon as we get back, I was tempted, I think, to try and dig in and find this thing, but I'd probably do more damage than good. So as soon as we get back, we'll kind of get to the med bay and explain what's happened and say, look, she needs to be scanned and this thing needs to be
indeed
surgically removed.
Yep.
And I'll speak to the commissar, whoever's going to investigate this, and put a good word in for the people who actually took the dipper out unauthorized and say, look, they were just trying to achieve something for the colony.
Yes, so I guess from Suvorov's point of view, with somebody being hurt, it's hard to hide what's going on. Especially if you then go straight to the commissar and say, "Hey, look, these guys we've just arrested." They do say, "What's your recommendation for those of you who went out there? What would you recommend as a group be the punishment for these people?"
I think I would probably try to, regardless of what what else was said. I'd try to just let them. I'm trying to encourage the capitalists. Look out for yourself type thing. And it seemed like because of the conditions, they felt like they were trapped and had to look. I'm looking out for me and mine. And if they can get away with that, the dam's going to break and everybody's going to be crossing over to the dark side. So I'm going to recommend that they just get a, kind of a, like an administrative warning and get put on janitorial detail,
Toilet cleaning.
Yeah.
They should certainly lose any rights to take out any craft anywhere.
Yeah, given their
so they don't bug off again.
Yeah, given their main role on the colony was going out and doing surveys and stuff, I think being restricted to the colony for a month would be quite a severe punishment.
If they're only allowed to go out with other people,
I would recommend that they stay and help explain and explore the discoveries, because that allows them to save face and actually acknowledges that they might have done something positive.
Yeah, I think you could argue that.
Sorry,
I would say they have. I think they have found some really interesting stuff that can definitely benefit the colony as we study it. Maybe they didn't get about it in the most orthodox way, but they were just trying to find ways to improve our lives. And I think obviously there needs to be some punishment, but I'd say some kind of being grounded for a month or something like that would be sufficient.
Good job.
A nominal punishment.
I don't think anything that rewards them.
Good job, Commissar Matt's not here. He'd have him executed by now.
Right?
Commissar who?
I mean, he'd be disappointed, in all you UPP guys,
I think he would be very disappointed.
Yeah, you're hanging out with us capitalists too much. We're rubbing off on you.
As Bruce says, no ice cream for a week.
Cool, indeed. Right, well, it's day one of week one of the second year at Solovetski Island as you arrive, Dawn. And that draws the scenario to a conclusion.
Right.
And we survived.
You survived.
Mostly.
When I take Ludmilla to the medical center, I said, if you can, when you get this thing out, if you can not destroy it, catch it, because we need to study it. If you can try and just, even if you have to kill it, that's fine. But keep it, in a sample case and give it to me so I can take it to my lab and study it, please.
Make a quick manipulation roll then, Tone.
Has my stress gone down now, do you think?
No, I think you're saying that as you deliver her, aren't you?
Oh, hang on. No successes, but no panic, so I'm going to push.
Okay.
Oh dear.
There we go.
2 successes and no panic.
Okay. The surgeon is. For God's sake! I mean, there's a wounded person here, and you're worried about specimens.
No, the first thing I've done is put her to be treated.
But I'll do it. I'll do it. It's okay. I'll do it. But still, I mean, come on, compassion, man, compassion.
Look, if these things, if we meet these things again and they attack us and they get inside people, we need to understand them to be able to defend against them. So there's nothing, the first thing I did was bring them here, perfectly compassionate. But we need to, the threats that we have, on this planet for this colony, we need to study them to understand them, to defend against them.
Well, I said I'd do it, didn't I?
Yeah, you're a bit grumpy about it, eh?
Well, I'm trying to save this person.
I'm not suggesting you shouldn't do that. I'm not saying
Get out of the way, then.
Just get on with it. Sure.
Right, cool, guys. Thanks for watching, everybody. I think we'll just quickly, if everyone's got 5 more minutes, go through experience, which we failed to do last time. But yeah, if you don't want to watch that, guys, thank you very much for watching. Tune in 2 weeks' time, same Thursday, same evening, same time. You know what I mean. 2
It's
weeks
the same
from now,
Thursday, to be fair.
8:30.
It's a different Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Okay. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you next time if you choose to leave us now.
Bye-bye.
Cool. Right then, initiative. I said that last time, didn't I? Initiative. Experience. So, number 1. So, as I said before, I'm going to be a bit stingy because some of the questions, if we do all of the questions here, 2 hours gaming will get you too much experience. So, please don't be upset if I say no to something. But so, did you participate?
Yes.
One experience. You can have that. Did you risk or sacrifice something to further your personal agenda? Now, we don't really have personal agendas in this in the same way as you do for a cinematic. So did you sacrifice something to further your character's goals or ambitions?
Not sacrifice. I pushed for it, but I didn't sacrifice anything.
I think you certainly risked something by going out of the dipper into the methane atmosphere with all those little creatures around to try and get my scientific samples.
I think that's fair enough, Tone, yeah. Seeing if you had fired the gun, there would have been a 1 in 3 chance of the thimble exploding.
That would have been a cool ending. Do you think that going out there for, the only other Lasalle guy, basically, I had to make sure he came back alive. Is that work for my ruthless climbing of the corporate ladder objective? I think that's just going to look great on a TPS report,
It looked good, really good on a UPP report.
Yeah, so I don't think I'll give you a point for that one, for that question. But the next question, I think, does give you a point for doing that. So, anybody else? For that
Well,
one?
I don't know whether I met mine or not, because my agenda is all about keeping the team safe. But I tried to do that, but also failed with Hutton. So I don't know whether that counts or not.
You certainly tried.
I'd give you a B+ at least.
You didn't fail with me because you weren't there. You kept us safe from the mad woman with a knife.
Yeah.
So okay, I think you can have that. Yeah. Did you risk your life for your buddy, PC? Now, again, I think we can broaden that a bit. Did you risk your life for somebody else?
Yes.
So I think Arlovsky, you get that for this one, for risking your life for Hutton. Did you challenge or stand up to a rival PC? Not sure, really.
Not massively.
Did you make a panic roll?
Yes.
Lots of them.
Most of you did, didn't you?
I didn't.
No. Okay. Did you overcome a dangerous event using violent or non-violent means? Yes, I think you all did there. Yep. Did you make a significant discovery or revelation? Yes, I think you all did there.
Yeah, good.
Did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind?
No.
Not sure going in that one.
Orlowski did.
Yeah, we did that whole Indiana Jones, with the thing coming down, he reaches in and grabs the hat, I reached in and grabbed my buddy.
I don't remember the hat.
Well, yeah.
And then the last one I'm not going to give anyway. Did you earn any money? I'm not going to give XP for that to anybody. So how many does that mean for everyone today? 3 for Frank?
Well, I got 5 today on top of the 4 I already had, so it puts me on 9.
Yeah.
I think that's 5 for me as well.
Okay.
A stingy 4.
Should be thankful you're getting any.
Indeed.
Yeah, with the lethality of these kind of scenarios, and the length of this campaign, we're going to be superheroes by the time we come up against anything tough. So it does make sense to.
I'm trying to slow that down a little bit. Yeah.
Of course, we should be assigning experience points according to need.
Cool. Thank you, guys. I think that draws us to a close for today. So thank you so much for playing. Thank you for being great
Cheers, Dave.
players.
Good one.
Thanks
Fun.
to anybody who's still watching for watching. Thank you so much.
Thank
See
you.
you in 2 weeks' time, and have a lovely few days. Cheers, everybody.
Good night.
And this is
Thanks,
the point
Dave.
where I hope Matt's watching to actually stop the show.
Not yet.
Otherwise, we just sit here all night.
Sit again.